March 17th, City Council, Vergas City Council meeting. Just a reminder that our meetings are recorded and are played visually and can be viewed on our city website as well as YouTube, just so that you are aware. During the proceedings, your participation is recorded. So I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Citizen concerns. Is that why we have this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. If you could just introduce yourself.
My name's Jeremy Brennan. I live with Laura at her property there on 110 West Elm Street.
Yep.
We've got an issue with the
Alley.
alley. It's in disrepair, and
We came in a couple of years ago to try to get it annexed.
which is unnecessary, but it is a problem. It's in disrepair, and pull up the plat, please, Laura. The problem is I don't want to use gravel on my apron until there's gravel on the alley, because for 5 to 8 months out of the year, it's absolutely unusable. In the wintertime on grass with what it is now, because the gravel is all sunk below the grade. It's all grass, so we can't turn to make our garage. You'll just slide right on by, and then in the spring, it's so muddy that you get stuck. Kevin Zitzo pulled us out of that alley twice since, but 5 years ago when they put 1 scoop of gravel to mitigate the manhole cover, which is raised up, that our vehicles bottom out on. Now, if there was gravel rather, where it shows on the plot here. Let's see here. But here's the horse 17. Now here it is. Okay, look, here's 17. Here's the alley. And here's our garage. As you can see, it says gravel on our side of the property, but the dashed line denotes that it goes all the way to the apron here, the cement apron here. And all we need is about 9 yards of class 5 gravel to just be simply bladed straight back that a competent front end loader operator could do in about 10 minutes, right?
Right.
And just push that gravel back about 9 yards of it, just straight back on the existing shows gravel surface here. This is your alley. I need
Because we want to gravel
and we
right
all,
in front.
and then I can take gravel from here to here of my own, and I don't care if mine mixes with yours.
Yeah.
But I need that done. In order to be able to use our garage for 8 months out of the year, we cannot use it. We cannot use our garage.
You guys need to see this?
Yeah, I'm trying to, I can see this, where it's at. You're just north of the church then?
The church is right here.
Okay.
And here's Carl Hopkins, and there should be an outbuilding here, and these would be the
What?
Sean.
Yeah, it's between our
So here's
garage
your
and
alley.
Sunday's bed.
Here's my garage. Here's where it shows we've got gravel going up into the alley to the apron. This is a cement apron. So the gravel was here, and in 16 years since she's been here, it's completely settled below the grade of the dirt. It's just grass. We have to mow it in the summer. We mowed it for 10 years. If we don't mow it, Sean Dale will mow it, but we shouldn't either have to mow it all summer. It's 500 square feet. It's 50 foot long and about 10 foot wide. So we have to mow that every year. We have been for 10 years. And then and I don't care if you even plow it in the winter if we get that gravel on there. But anyway, that all needs to be, in order for me to want to get gravel from here to here from my garage, I need that gravelled up like it was before. We've also got a great big mud puddle here in front of the fire hydrant. And it's been there on West Elm Street here. And it needs class 5 also. It needs just about a bucket full. And that would keep,
The water
we
drains
got
down
about
along the
3/4
road
of a foot worth of
Right.
mud there.
on the side of the yard, right
It's
there.
been there for years and years and
Yeah,
years
it's big
as well.
channel.
So
It's
we
an
just,
actual alley there, huh?
that's West Elm Street.
In
But
front of the
Carl
house, but
Must
behind,
have, did Carl put the original gravel down?
yeah,
He did, but that's West Elm Street.
Hmm, yeah.
And Carl would probably be happy to spread that for everybody if we just simply got it there.
yeah.
But anyway, that's all I want is repair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, we could talk about annexing, but that's not a great idea.
I think when we came in a couple of years ago and talked about annexing the alley, cause I don't know why they put the garage door that way. But, I think the lawyer said there'd be an issue with the manhole cover, cause it's right in the middle of the driveway.
Okay.
And my van keeps bottoming out on it and
So we had,
it's,
they actually took a bucket full of gravel once, about just before COVID, about 5 years ago. And dumped it past the apron where we would like it to begin going back with gravel.
I mean, a little, but.
So we were able to mitigate that manhole without bottoming out every time
Oh,
on our vehicle. But it really needs to just be done all the way. So. That's,
Mayor, and I guess a question for them. Time frame. I mean, spring is coming. Is it the type of thing that something needs to be addressed
it really,
immediately? or-
It's already mud.
Yeah.
It's already
It's
all
like-
mud. And we can't access it for 2-3 months in the spring because it stays mud. But we try to get in there and it just makes it even worse.
by the end of April, I think you'd be fine to drop.
You
Nine
might have to
hours.
wait till end of road restrictions would be the.
Or whichever. But it also needs, you need to follow up in a few years and do it again.
Yeah.
And that way it'll be done.
Right.
But to get it done in a month, you know.
Yeah.
that's-
No,
Oh,
but
no.
we know we're coming in early enough to get
Right.
the ball
We
rolling.
don't, yeah, we'd like to see it happen in the spring when it can be. And then we understand that, and as long, you know.
Yeah, we'll just treat it as we do every year. We can't get the cars out until the mud's gone, so. Yeah,
Yeah, we've only had one instance where we had to break out our car because another one failed, and so we dug out in the wintertime and made a run for it to try and get this car out of there, mitigating the curve of the thing and then going up the hill as well. But no, we've been stuck in the mud there in the spring twice. Kevin Zitzo can testify that he's hauled me out of there. Fortunately for nothing, because we're neighbors and that's what neighbors do. But that's,
Is this something that streets should look at to kind of evaluate so that we have
Yeah,
a better understanding?
my name is Bruce Albright. and I'm on the street committee with Paul.
okay.
And your complaint is noted. We will have a meeting here before this can be fixed, I guess. We gotta wait for weather conditions. And we'll come back with a recommendation to council for your
I'd
approval.
like our streets to put
Yeah,
an eye
and
on it
we'll-
for you.
We'll meet with you and take a look at all your concerns, so we address everything.
And we have the copy of the plat at the house if you need it, or I don't know, the city's probably got one.
Try to get it fixed so it's
Yeah.
done right, and
Yeah.
then we're through with it. So we'll come back with a recommendation to council,
Okay.
hopefully, for your April meeting.
April.
Yeah.
Yep, is that workable with you?
Yeah,
That'll be fine.
here, what is that, like the middle of April then?
Yes.
Yeah, we're the third Tuesday, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll be here.
We'll meet with you before, right?
Again.
Good time to catch you at home is when?
Laura?
What's that?
What's the best time to catch you around the house there?
Well, he's still dealing with his foot, so he's pretty much around, but to catch me, I work overnights.
Okay,
And I go to bed at noon, so anytime between, say, 8 and noon in the morning
okay,
is
that's fine.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah, your plow guy's been working really great with us this year, the
Good.
younger guy.
yeah,
Yeah, because I don't even pull in from work till like 7:30 in the morning, so he tries to get there like right away.
it'll probably be next week, but we'll try to get over there in the morning and talk to you guys, so we make sure all your concerns are noted, so.
Yeah,
I'm not totally, I mean, if it ends up being 60 this weekend, you'll probably be able to see what I'm talking about.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because most of the snow was already gone before this last little bout. And he's been doing good. He goes straight in the alley, plows straight in and just comes right back out. But when it gets sloppy like this in the spring, he can't do it because he'll get stuck in there. So yeah, and we'd like to get rock. We're gonna do some stuff like remove our mulch.
We'd like to be
get
able to
rock in
claim
there
our
and-
garage.
Yeah.
We'd like to be able to use our garage most of the year, if not all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so,
not be an unreasonable request.
right, right. All right,
Appreciate it.
And, they will be touching base with you, our street committee.
we appreciate
Okay,
it.
we
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank
All
you.
right, good to see you all.
Yeah. Oh.
Anything else, Julie, that has come across as a
Nope.
citizen concern? The agenda, there is the addition of the Lions raffle to the consent agenda.
Yep.
And then we are going to add the West Central Initiative Food Council Growing Local Together. And Patrick Hollister will be doing that via Zoom. And we will make that on agenda number 5. So then the Looney days will be 6, committee report 7, staff report 8. So we'll stick Patrick in there before our other part of the agenda. An event center advisory board is removed from consent agenda because it's actually in committee reports. So we'll just remove it up there and it's in committee reports. With those changes, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion. I'll second
We have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
it. Aye.
Aye,
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Now we have the consent agenda. With the addition of the Lions raffle and the deletion of the event center advisory board, is there any comments or otherwise I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor for approval of the consent agenda indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
The consent agenda is approved. And Patrick, I see that you are on, so we have you next on our agenda to talk about the Growing Local Together. And Julie provided us the handout, so we do have the handout.
Terrific. Good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. Thank you for your flexibility in allowing me on the agenda. I sent an email to Julie late this afternoon and said, is there a city council meeting between now and March 31st that I could speak to you? And Julie said, well, how about 6:30 tonight? So here I am. I'm going to share my screen I'm not able to do that. That's okay. I know you have the materials. So I'd like to invite you to a meeting on Tuesday, April 7th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you have 2 choices in terms of attending the meeting. You can either join us online or we have 5 in-person locations: Fergus Falls, Moorhead, Morris, Staples, and St. Cloud. Obviously, Fergus Falls and Moorhead would be the 2 most convenient for you. The advantage to attending in person is we'll give you dinner. We're not able to give you dinner over Zoom. So I hope you are able to join us in person. You may already be aware that Partnership for Health has had a 4-county local food council going for about 4 years now, consisting of Becker, Clay, Ottertail, and Wilkin. We got a grant from the Minnesota Department of Health to expand our food council to 16 counties. And so we are now in the 16 counties on your flyer, although the individual counties are not labeled. And the 5 apples are roughly where the in-person locations are for this April 7th meeting. This April 7th meeting is sort of a recruitment meeting, but don't let that scare you. We are looking for people who are interested in joining our newly expanded food council. But we are also looking for people who are interested in working on food related projects with us and don't necessarily want to join the council itself. That's fine too. And the types of projects we work on are basically we want to strengthen the local food system. We want to get more people eating food locally as opposed to from 1,000 miles away. And so we're looking at things like promoting farmers markets, farm to school, farm to institution, such as farm to hospital or farm to nursing home or senior living facility. We're looking at what can we do to promote local farmers and local agriculture. And so I would really encourage all of you to attend, either in Fergus Falls, in Moorhead, or online. Uh, you can register by scanning the QR code on the flyer, and that will take you to the registration link. Or you could also contact me, and I think you, obviously Julie has my contact information, but I think you probably also have an email from me in front of you with my contact information. But if you need help registering, you're welcome to contact me also. And so I thank you for your time, and I'm open to any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Patrick?
No, I'd seen this because you had sent an email out, Patrick, about a week ago. Well, last Thursday, actually, so. I looked it
I've
over
been-
and registered yet. I need to check my schedule, but.
Terrific. Yes.
Okay. We currently have our Energy and Resilience Advisory Board, and we've been working on green steps. And part of the best practices we're looking at is in this very category. So it
Yeah.
has with our plan that we currently
Yeah.
have.
Fabulous. So I'm very familiar with the Green Step Cities program because I've been involved in it with Fergus Falls and also Becker County was pursuing becoming an official Green Step county, and City of Moorhead. In fact, I think City of Moorhead is up to level 3, if I'm not mistaken, on the staircase. So, absolutely, if you're interested in potential overlap between, or potential, let's say, synergy between what our 16 county food council could potentially work on with you and what could help you move up the green steps, then by all means, please join our meeting. There will be some of it will be presentation, but some of it will also be open discussion. And we would love it if you would bring your ideas related to green steps to the meeting, and we can talk about how could we as a food council help you advance in the green step program.
Okay, that sounds great, Patrick. Thank you for the invitation and making us aware.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on our agenda is the Looney Days.
The committee has requested the same street closures that they've had for the last 2 years. I know your map said 2024, but it's actually for 2026. But the same, they'll have the street fair on Saturday, the street dance Saturday night, car show and parade on Sunday. Same route, same streets that they did last year. They're also requesting permission to do the beer garden and to waive the fee.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. Committee reports. First off, we have Event Center, James.
So we have Cynthia with us tonight. She is from the Stay Active and Independent for Life program. And I'm gonna let her kind of give her little spiel. Yeah.
All right, so I work at Mojave Atwa in Detroit Lakes. Are you familiar with Mojave Atwa? Okay, so I bring this class out to communities, and I did bring you a little listing so you see how widespread we are. And we offer these at senior exercises. I recommend 60 and over in the class, but I have had people in their 50s. It's a balance and strength, and it's a fall preventative class. It goes how I did do a tentative schedule because I visited with Rachel, and I think this is gonna be the schedule, but we still have to talk after this. But I offer it 2 times a week. It's an hour-long class. Supply everything. I work with a mini grant, so it helps me to buy the weights needed and stuff, but it by all doesn't cover all the costs, but it covers a lot of it. Offer it free to the community. And my request is I've never been charged a fee to have the building. Like I've been in other like town halls and whatever, community centers and stuff. And then Rachel said there is like a daily fee to have classes and of $15 or something. So it was even
Actually, with exercise classes, we just give them $15 and they can be here an hour, hour and a half.
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
We don't go by the hour, we go 15.
So I'm just asking if we could either waive the fee because I'm on a small grant and I'm offering it for free to the community, or make it smaller. I think I was timesing it out. I think it's like 360 maybe. It's 24 classes total. So it's 12 weeks, the program, and people see amazing results. I actually posted one in Dent last year, and those people they're gonna sign up for it because I told them I was gonna try to see if I could get one going. And they said, well, that's the same distance to go to Vergas as it was to Dent. So I know, but they really liked it, and just felt stronger and better after. So, but my main request is just if somehow I can waive that daily fee to have it because I'm offering it to the community for free. So
How does that stand with our policy, James?
So we currently do not have a policy. We had voted a couple of months ago to take the free and reduced rent away. That's why they're coming here. Because we kind of said if they needed to, they'd come to this, to the council. This would probably be one of the ones that would make it the call tracks that we had a problem with the metric system that were like, where does it rate? It probably actually would fall under free or reduced. So, but because we don't have a policy, the committee didn't send anything for it to the council.
It doesn't conflict with anything else going on, their schedule with what we'd have going on here in the morning,
It's after evenings, isn't it?
evenings, or?
it's in the mornings. Rachel did look at that. She said it wouldn't be set in stone till after this meeting, but she did look at the calendar and said because I told her usually it works good to be either Monday, Wednesday or Tuesday, Thursday, because there needs to be a break day in between for the muscles to, and she said Tuesday, Thursday had things going on. So she recommended Monday, Wednesday, and so I just tentatively, and I'll leave these with you after too, just to give to her, but 10 o'clock in the morning till 11. But then I would usually have to get here like a half hour before and set up the chairs.
Yeah.
It's chair and standing, whatever stage people are at, they can do the exercises all in seated position. I've had people in wheelchairs with walkers. It's an awesome,
So I just want to be sure, is this consistent with what we have done with others who've wanted it free here? I just don't want us to kind of look like, we say yes and then we say no to some.
So
Is
the
it
other
because
groups
that's free?
It's the current groups that we have they charge the
Okay.
people that are doing the class to take the class. This would not have a charge to the people participating in the piece. That's the difference in those two.
Well, Zumba was free until we started charging for the building, and now they take donations for the participants so that they can afford to pay the $15. And we have had a few other ones past years that have come and asked. That we have not given, but they were a profit then, Jim said,
So when you say the $15, that's per time.
per time. Yeah, so right now we have Zumba in here on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. So it's $15 on Tuesday and $15 on Thursday. So they pay a monthly rate.
But they moved out. Or is it?
No, they're still here.
Just the.
They're still here. The evening group, which was Monday and Wednesday nights, have moved out because they couldn't afford the $15.
So few people.
Mhm.
So when we opened up the center for free for walkers, would you say that's kind of equivalent? When we did, I know we aren't
Mhm.
doing it anymore, but when we did, and we opened it up for free for people to come to walk, is that how we see this equivalent? It's like a fitness free for citizens?
Back when we used to open the building to walk for free, we didn't charge for
Yeah.
exercise, and that was when we weren't charging for Zumba either.
Oh,
And so then we told the walkers that if somebody would take charge of opening and closing the building after they're walking, and then they would pay $15 too. And we haven't.
so
We actually did have I think one time walkers walked in here since we went to the $15, but after that, that completely quit.
So Zumba, when they do Zumba in here on Tuesday, Thursday, do they charge for that class?
They take donations.
Take donations. I guess what, differentiates this a little bit is the fact that it's free. I mean, they're not charging for the class.
Well, I think Zumba wasn't until we charged them.
Okay.
So that's why I'm just trying to be clear that we aren't
Mhm.
viewed like we totally changed our position here. And that 15, is that just the free cost of the building being open? or-
Right, to pay for the electricity and the bathrooms and all of that kind of stuff.
And the event center advisory board, did they express any feelings one way or another?
The only feedback I got is that we don't take these any longer, they need to go to council,
Oh.
so.
So if we charge you for all 24 classes, it'd be a fee of $360. And that's not within your,
It's pushing it. I work
Who
with
are
the
we
Older
doing
Americans
reduced rate
Act on a
huh?
grant and I buy all the weeks. Pardon me?
Weren't we doing reduced rates though too?
We have not since, we don't have any of that anymore, we voted all of that down,
Oh.
so we no longer have reduced or free.
Silver sneakers, are you tied up with them, or could you be?
No, that's a different program again. I know they have that at the community center in Diablo. I'm not.
Yeah, that's kind of
It's like they have that here at the gym as well.
And-
Well, they don't call it silver
Oh, don't they?
sneakers fitness for life or something like that. They
I think
title
they
it
charge
something
for those,
different because they are.
because I've known another lady that talked to
Yeah.
them.
I just read on the back of the chairs.
Well.
And then
I
the
think-
other thing with this program is, so. I'm active in Hubbard. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes that have continued to go. So what I've done in the other counties is I teach it myself. I'm the leader for 12 weeks, so twice a week for 12 weeks. And if during that time, someone in the group really would like to keep that going in your community, I work with volunteers. So this is how it all ties in. So these classes, I currently have 26 trained volunteers that keep these things going. Because I'm only one person, so I can bring the program out and then they keep it running in their communities. So that's an incentive too. If they're, if you have someone that's interested in keeping their program going, then we provide training for that and CPR training and stuff. We like to have them all CPR trained, and so, yeah, I mean, there's other down the road benefits if there's interest. If there's not interest, like in Dant, they loved the class, but nobody was interested in doing a leadership role, and they had a perfect spot in that gym that they use over there. But yeah, so it's just all
Do you know what the
individual
level
communities.
of interest typically is? How many does get typically have a class?
Oh man, we were up to, in the list, I would say we were between 15 and 20 for quite a while, but it got to be in the fall and there's a lot of snowbirds over that way.
Oh,
A lot of people on the lake and they were heading to Florida and Texas and
Mhm.
wherever, then it got a pretty small group. Generally, I really am happy if we get a dozen. Let's say I brought it to Cormorant, we had, I think at one time 50 people in that class. I had to have people help me watch and yeah. So it's really hit. And I have four trained volunteers over there and they carried it on in the community center in Cormorant. So they've got it running there twice a week and yeah, so it's just an opportunity, I guess. We bring it out and it's for the senior crowd rather than the younger crowd. But like I said, a lot of ladies in their 50s and men, we have men in our groups too, and they're interested. So I don't know if you need to talk. I would be okay if you wanted to contact me tomorrow or something, or is it something that has to be? I didn't know if you needed to talk to like another counselor.
Provides a service, obviously, to our seniors. I think it's also good for our business community. I mean, people coming to town, that's always welcomed. It's good, but I can understand what the mayor is saying. I just looked up Mahoobie, and, it says nonprofit organization, so they're
Yeah.
not for profit. If we can find any distinction, then
Another question, I saw you have a big senior center. Do they have a gathering spot? I mean, sometimes these things can move into other buildings, after the initial.
Our assisted living, they do have that middle area, but it's all full of chairs and
Oh, okay.
tables. They actually use it for dining. as well.
Okay, got it. I was just curious, cause I
Mhm.
saw that the last time I drove in, I'm like, oh, that's a newer, just looking around to see what you have, but anyways, that's what I'm interested in.
Any other thoughts or questions? Cynthia?
When are you hoping to start this?
Tentative date of Monday, April 6th, so like a couple of weeks. I've already ordered in my weights and stuff needed, and I have another class starting in April as well up in Burndale. So I'll be going 2 days here and 2 days up there.
How do you advertise?
Flyers on our Facebook, and I think Rachel said you have a city website, or do you have a Facebook page or something?
Yeah.
I have to talk to her again, but yeah. So, and then I can't remember if I sent her a digital copy of this, but I can do that too. Just, flyers in like the post office or church or, just your normal community grocery store, wherever people have their bulletin boards hung up that you look for information. And I know, Frazee Neighbor to Neighbor was asking if they could advertise as well. So if any of the Frazee would be interested in coming over, and I said that would be fine if they wanted, it's all the same, not too far away, so.
We used to have a bone builders class.
Yep, and that, I came in at the end of the bone builder era. And then that was not an evidence-based class. And so for the grant funding, you had to have an evidence-based class. So this is evidence-based studies were done in the state of Washington on age 65 and older for the results. But we offer the class for 60 and over for the most part, and whoever wants to come in. But for the grant purposes, this grant that I get from Dancing Sky and with the Older Americans Act, is for 60 and over. So, yep. And so, yeah, that's what I do.
It's busy.
It does.
well, I would make a motion that we allow them to use the building at no cost. And if we have ramifications regarding our policy, we'll have to address that in the future with other similar organizations. They're a nonprofit.
We're not.
They don't charge for the class. It's free service, and I think it is good for the community. This, was called the community center at one time. It's now the event center, but community dollars have paid for everything that goes in here, and I think the community ought to be allowed to use it. So I would make a motion that we allow them to use
I'll
it.
second that.
We have a motion in a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Awesome, thank you.
Good luck with your class.
Yeah, it's a good class. And you wanna give those to Rachel, and then if you guys want to look, that's just, you know, so you see where all we are in all the communities and. Sure. Yeah, it's a good deal. I don't know, I keep everybody in shape. Is it okay if I just leave now?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, next order of business is street sidewalks yard waste committee.
We had a meeting today at 1 o'clock and, we are going to recommend to the council that the brush disposal at our yard waste facility be eliminated for now, and that permits be sold at the same rate, $65 for lawn clippings, leaves, etc. And the reasoning, I think you pretty much all know, the reasoning behind brush disposal elimination is, seems like every time we've done something there, it's been a headache. We've had multiple violations. We've had people that have lit the brush pile on fire on their own. We also probably have some liability issues there. If the wind is right, we've got a neighbor right across the street. We get constant complaints about smoke. And the county does operate several sites. Frazee still will take brush. Pelican Rapids has a brush disposal site through the county. And just eliminate it. We talked about, could we have it open for citizens or, you know, people that own property in Vergas only? How do you police it? And all the communities that allow the brush to come in have people that police it, and we just felt that's not feasible for us. A, it's a difficult site to fence, and B, putting somebody up there where people are dumping brush is not a cost-effective measure. Right? Yeah.
So what is like the definition? I can hear it already. So what is it that they can, what in terms of brush, is there a size or is it?
Be
just-
no
brush.
No brush at all, so it'd be grass clippings and leaves.
Grass and leaves.
How about your garden stuff?
Yeah, that garden stuff, plant material.
Yeah.
No woody,
So
Yes,
if you
sir.
trim the branches off your trees and all that, it would have to go to crazy.
it would have to go to the clippers. Yep.
Do we anticipate we're gonna have multiple fires in town where people are just burning them in their yards?
We dealt with that as the fire ordinance planning and zoning did a while back. They're supposed to have a permit if they have anything more than a campfire in their yard. They're supposed to notify the city. Same policy as notifying the DNR if you have a fire. in your property.
Because for my, like, the way I look at it is we have expected our citizens to have well-kept yards, and we've taken kind of pride in our city for that, and we no longer allow them a place to put that stuff. My yard, as an example, when I moved in, needed a lot of trimming, a lot of stuff that my elderly grandmother was not able to take care of, required multiple trips to that facility. So if we have someone that comes into town, it's hard for us to say also is like, well, yes, we want you to keep your yard nice, but you now have to drive your phrase to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, my situation is somewhat similar to yours, James. I mean, I know your situation, you can get rid of because your family has property. You know, it'd be a longer drive for you.
I do not have access to my family's property.
Oh.
So I was not.
And or if I cut brush in my yard, I would haul it out to my farm and
Mhm.
have to dispose it that way, you know? It just, people have always taken advantage of us.
And I also don't think that we have done everything we can out there though. We put up a deer camera when we could have looked into better camera systems. We have better camera systems all over this town than we do for one deer camera that we have to go out and check that they're there. We could police that very differently than we do now.
Mhm. And the reason why the camera out there hasn't been the best is the fact that we don't have an internet hotspot there. I know, like, when you have Looney Days, you put hotspots all over town so people can use credit card machines. I think at one time we actually did, if we ever looked into what would it cost us to put an internet hotspot out there so that our camera on the pole did a better job?
We did originally, and it was, if we would have had a building to put it on, that would have, but we don't have electricity, we don't have a building, we don't have, the only thing we have is the one light pole.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sitting in the same area as James. I mean, I have no place to even burn on my property.
Yeah.
And I don't have any, I'd have to go to one of the other sites, and I'm sure they would charge me crazy or Pelican. And in my opinion, if they could try to burn it more often, rather than what get such a huge pile, you'll have a chance of control of them.
And of course, what happened last fall is because of the dry conditions, we were in a burning ban, and that's when the debris accumulated. Now, we talked a little bit about that too. Is it fair to charge somebody $65 for a permit to dump their brush there, and then we have a burning ban and say, well, now the site is closed because we're in a burning ban, you know?
When I used to have connections with some of that stuff, there, your
I just asked a question while you
Yeah,
continue
okay.
pondering that. What about Christmas trees? This year we made a special,
Effort, and I
Effort.
think Julie said they picked up
People.
one.
And they picked up
Oh.
one Christmas tree, that's it. So I don't think Christmas trees are an issue.
is that something
just-
artificial, something?
I don't know what people did with it, but when I spoke with the utilities department, they said there was only one left.
Well, and I said they can take it to Frazee. I looked up the city of Frazee. It says, residents of Frazee, Burlington, and Silverleaf townships are allowed to drop off compostable materials here. There are 2 piles, one for brush and tree trimmings and another for garden and yard waste. So they eliminated it to the 3 townships.
And just also with the smoke, I understand not having the smoke issue. I think we're gonna have 50 people in town burning brush in their yards and have 100 neighbors that are gonna be upset about the burning. I mean, I think that's gonna be also a significant problem that we're gonna have as well. Cause I think people are gonna burn it before they're gonna try to take it to a different home.
Yeah, and then they'd be going out in the country someplace to.
Or throw it in the ditch. Yeah.
Well, the townships told us that when Paul and I went out and talked to them, they
Yeah.
said one thing that it's done is they were finding this stuff dumped in their road ditches, et cetera. 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's illegal to dump it in the road ditch.
Right.
It isn't right, but that's what they were doing. Now they're been bringing it here, but I said, literally, you could be east of Dent on State Highway 108 and meet a large load of brush. And I've done that. I've literally turned around and you will follow them right out to this site. And then with the stumps and people lighting it on fire and complaints about the smoke and
Yeah.
liability. I mean, yeah, we caught a garbage dumpster on fire the last time and the county paid for that at no charge to the city of Vergas. If you would put a tape to it, Daryl Dye's buildings really aren't that much farther away. And Mike has always expressed concern about if we get that woods on fire behind the brush pile, we're gonna have a fire put out back there because it's all woods and debris and that's gonna burn back there.
But if you still had a small amount of brush to burn, it's not gonna get as hot. The,
Right.
the day that it was, came from somewhere, and as I stopped at the, stoplight right beside the house. My pager went off, which normally it's a rescue thing, and then they said there was a fire, so I drove up there at that time, and it was going. But you had such a huge deal, if you could put that out once a week, or I don't know if I would set the restrictions so tight that the employees can't figure it out, if there's nothing there, or if it's dry. And what I was gonna say was when you call in for the, even when the burning ban is on, they would let you burn on a bigger location, and I'm not saying they can still do that. I mean, when the burning is on, you have to have.
I also think that the situation could have been handled very differently, that if Mike would have lit it and it would have been on fire when he was there, he would have noticed it before the dumpsters would have started on fire, not 12 hours later when they did start on fire. Because he was out that morning lighting it, and it didn't take.
And now Julie said when that site first opened, there was some thing in the guidance or operation of the site that said city employees must be on site when the fire is burning. The problem they had this time was they tried to light it in the morning, it didn't light, they went back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, tried to light it, got it, it went, they didn't think it went, but it started, and they went home, and then at midnight is when all heck broke loose.
But they still should turn in their information if you continue in that, so that the sheriff's department knows, yes, there's a dedicated fire that's got permission to do it at such and such deal. And then at that particular time, somebody could come up to see at that time wasn't so bad, but I still maintain the huge brush pile, holy moly, there's lots of them there.
Would the fire department ever consider using it as training and as support when we do a burn?
We would have to ask them.
Yeah, the
They
first
do
question
training
that come
every
up
Wednesday.
was, what did that December fire cost us? It was $1,200.
Mhm.
That's what that cost us. The other cities provided mutual aid, on behalf of their agreements. Luckily, the county didn't charge us for the dumpster. They were able to retrofit a different lid on it, and we weren't charged for that, so.
This is something we can look at, just limiting how many people we allow the licenses to. And then we're not gonna catch them all, obviously, the first round, but word gets out that we are watching it. We do need to
So
limit
limiting
it
it to only
residents
residents.
Yeah, it's a policing thing.
or our
Yeah.
towns, even our
Even this is
townships.
gonna be police.
I mean, I've watched that site pretty close, and I'm guessing probably a third of the people that dump there do not have permits. As of last year.
Yeah.
And we're selling over 300 permits.
Yeah. So we are selling a lot. People, you ask them, a lot of times, if I'm up there getting rid of disposables or something, I'll say, I see you don't have a permit. This is a by permit site only. Oh, I have it in the glove box or something, I don't say, well, I need to see it, but I assume that I don't know. And the ones that do have permits everybody's been, thank you for having this site.
Yeah.
We can get rid of our leaves, we can get rid of our yard waste. Thank you for operating it. We've always bought a permit. We bought a permit for 6 years. Please keep it open. But all it ever takes, and that's where that saying comes from, is one bad apple, spoils the bunch. And we've had bad apples, lots of bad apples up there.
Now, we've had them beyond that, where people dump.
Yeah.
And recycling what is not recycling. I mean, it is the nature of that area.
So I don't know.
I just wondered, we aren't reducing the price, but we're reducing what they can do.
Right. And we said, well, we could see, just the grass clippings alone are a huge deal. I think a lot of people like the fact that they can do that.
Well,
If
I think
permit-
garden stuff is huge too.
Yeah.
I see a lot of when gardens get cleaned out.
Garden
And I
stuff.
do my garden.
Sure, yeah. I don't know, it's just been that, it's kind of been trouble with somewhat of a capital T. I mean, we had some guy went up there when all those stumps got dumped there. Old guy by himself, he would tie a rope on the stump ball, then tie his rope onto the concrete barriers up there, and then drive slowly ahead and the stump would fall off. That's why they were scattered all over the parking area up there. Well, it says 4-inch diameter brush.
Mhm.
What is this got to do with 4-inch diameter no longer than 6 feet?
Yeah.
And if they brought that kind of stuff, Dean, it would burn up relatively quickly and we could get rid of it. But they get a stump in there, what are they supposed to do with it? Mike goes up to the payload, he goes, what am I gonna do with the big stump?
Yeah.
Or they got logs this big around, I mean, sometimes people that saw logs have come up and got them up there, but they light that on fire, it smolders for days, maybe weeks. We get a windy day and boom, we got the fires going again. So,
Yeah, I think we all appreciate the fact that it's a problem. I think we know that. It's just,
I mean, is it my problem? Or is it a city of Vergas problem that somebody who lives on Lida or Crystal Lake doesn't have a spot to dump their brush? And I think the answer is no.
no, that's why we're.
That's why I'm saying, is it where we limit it to the residents, that the people in town that don't have a place to put it, have some place to do it.
I mean, we could sure try. I jokingly said, I think if it was resident brush only, we could have a nice winter roast up there at Harryman Festival and we could burn it, and that's about, I think, the volume that we would accumulate. But when you've got it coming from east of Dent and
Well, you got 300 permits.
Yeah, they're
That's
coming
a
from,
lot.
yeah, because we keep track of townships too, and we've got like, I mean, there's what, 8 or 9 townships that are coming in.
How much money did it bring in last year?
I do not know that off the top of my head.
Wasn't it two?
Like we sold 300, or was a lot of those residential?
No, those are the 300 we've sold.
We sold.
so it's 65 bucks a piece, that's about $18,000.
Yeah, it seemed like it was over 2,000, but
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact number.
yeah, so about $19,000 worth. And then, but we take 7,000 of that to pay for the loader. What that is used out there a lot. And then wages
And they allocate their time, when they're up there pushing stuff together, it goes to the yard waste site. At least now, it's a break even for the city, or we're not losing any money, assuming we don't have some type of catastrophic event. But I could, if you said this year just we'll limit it to residents only, I think the policing comes up, and the second thing that probably comes up is the non-residents are gonna say, why are you prejudiced to us?
Well, residents could say, why are we paying the price for people,
Yeah.
that are abusing this as well, when you got 300 out that are
Yeah.
residents. That's more than,
Yeah.
almost as many as
I mean,
residents.
everywhere I've lived, they have taken, like, the city is taking care of yard waste. When I lived in Moorhead or in Fargo, they actually picked it up at my sidewalk, like in front of your houses.
That unit does.
So like it's part of, like, that was what the city wants.
The
to
city
do.
of Moorhead has a department that makes up yard
I
waste and
understand.
recycling. There's probably 20 people and they can staff their site.
But I'm saying we at least, I think that is something, if we want our city to continue to look that way, we need to do something for our residents, and right now, that's what we've chose to do, is take care of the residents, and then if we come up with something in the future, we'll do it. And yes, we're not gonna get everybody out of there from,
Or, what if you said, yard waste will be accepted Saturday morning between the hours of 8 to 12 and actually hired somebody to set up them? Would be covered by the permit fees. I mean, you're talking a minimum wage type thing, or whatever that would be, a start, you know, I don't know where we're at. with that.
We're gonna start getting back into the pile getting big again.
Huh?
You're not gonna get your mini roast.
How would you keep them out Monday through Friday when it's still open for recycling? You know, no matter what, they can still get in.
Mhm.
And our attorney is here, but you know, you're dealing with the violators. You're trying to say, how, they're still gonna come and dump, but they're violating the rule. When people break the law, typically there are consequences associated with the said breaking of law.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna kind of jump in here a little bit. You know, the question is always, how do you enforce the rules, right? You can't shoplift, people still shoplift, right? I mean, and I think we can all agree that everybody knows you can't shoplift, right? The question then is, how do you stop the shoplifters, right? And you know, so if you can't dump brush, well, you're still gonna have to police the people who aren't dumping, right? I mean, if I, a person, am willing to not pay attention to the 4-inch diameter rule, I'm probably not gonna pay attention to the fact that you can't dump brush, right? I mean, you're still dealing with people who are willing to not follow the rules. So the question is, how do you police the rules, whatever the rules are? And that is, you know, kind of a big trick, right? You mentioned that there's a deer camera up there. You know, I think, I'm not 100% certain that they still use it, but I think the city of Detroit Lakes actually has 2 wildlife cameras, and that's how they police their brush pile. I'm not saying it's great, but you know, like you can, I think it's possible to get a high quality enough, you know, wildlife camera, game camera, to get some of the violators. And you know, sometimes the sign that says you're under surveillance is enough to, you know,
Yeah.
dissuade some of the less, you know, some of the people. You know, I think that this is a lot of, you know, it's obviously your call, but you know, it sounds to me like this is a lot of the policing issue, not really what the rules are issue. Because if people are currently violating the rules, changing the rules doesn't necessarily stop the people from violating the rules.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, unless you go the opposite way, right? I mean, we allow stumps now. We don't care if you have a permit. We don't, right? I mean, if you get rid of the rules, there's no rules for them to break. But so you know, that sounded very good. It doesn't solve your problem, right? I just basically highlighted what your problem was. But you know, there is the game camera, having somebody up there. You don't have to have them up there all the time, but maybe just, you know, or you know, having a public works employee or somebody drive through on a random basis when they would be driving by anyways, and just saying, hey, I'm with the city of Vergas, do you have a permit? Or, you know, hey, that's stump in the back of your car, you know, you can't dump that. And just, you know.
Yeah, another thing you could do is you could have them sort your stuff you bring in. Because there is a number of people that go up there and harvest, which is great. And take home the stuff they can burn in their stove. And if you'd encourage that a little more, it may help if you like something new. Because anyone who burns wood, if you could just pick it up, it'd be a lot easier than going woods and bring it.
Problem there is you got the liability. Somebody comes out there and cuts the log and cuts his finger.
No. Well, they can. How could you do that to the guy who's chainsaw you're liable?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not really sure you want to be promoting people going to
Chainsaw wars?
I'm not saying that you could saw it up there.
somebody dumps a big long log, how are you gonna load it back up to haul it? They're gonna cut it up and haul it.
I mean, yeah, Paul and I talked about it. That was our recommendation. I think we're open. Why it's getting to be a time thing is because spring is coming and when do people clean up things? People are already asking Julie, where are the permits coming out? We don't want to start selling permits till we know definitely what we're going to do.
Yeah.
If it's the council's wishes to maybe try to do a little more policing,
Well, I'd even be happy if we just kept it to residents, that we don't take it away from our residents. And, permits cost money. Rachel spends time. I mean, there's a lot of other time and cost besides, the permit. I mean, there's all that background.
you're saying,
cost,
Mayor,
too.
we just do yard waste and brush for residents only and eliminate any of it from coming in.
Yeah, we eliminate permits. We offer it to our residents. Cause you made the statement, why are we responsible for somebody who lives
Yeah.
wherever you said, yeah, but. I mean, it would certainly be less, but there'll still be issues. Cause we still always have issues with recycling side too, where people dump chairs, TVs and tires.
Stuffing 200 feet of garden hose in the plastics is not recyclable.
Yeah, I mean, we still have those issues, but then the county ends up owning quite a bit of that, but.
Yeah, and of course,
Unless you guys want to take it back, but like you said, I think we are kind of running out of time here.
You could go residents only until the April meeting. Let yard waste. We go through this again, and then next month we can come back.
somebody though that has maybe used our services for 2, 3, 4 years, they load up a whole load of brush.
They
And they come over here, they got it loaded on the trailer. I'm here and I go, oh, residents only. I think we're gonna end up with at that point. Anyway,
But
I
I
don't
think
know.
we'll end up in an issue if we just say even to our residents, we're all done.
Yeah.
We're all done with that waste.
I mean, that goes back to what you said, James, the communities you lived in and provided that service. When Natalie was on the council, she brought up the issue that, well, it brings people to town and they may jump their stuff off. They may go in the Loon's Nest, have coffee and roll, and then they walk down to her store or they walk over to the hardware store. It definitely brings people to town.
Yeah.
And I think we've got the contractors done pretty well. Although we still have those problems too. We say no commercial dumping, so. If I had Cars Tree Service, and I have had them come and cut logs in my yard, they legally can't go up there and dump, even though it comes from my yard. They can't go up there and dump because they're a commercial operator. And they usually factor in the price that they chip it and haul it away someplace anyway. There are other ways to get rid of brush for those people, if they want to use it. I mean, hell, I had brush in my yard, it was primarily, the invasive species stuff, but I hired cars and give them $1,100 and took care of it.
If we had a burn pile further out of town, so the smoke couldn't bother people,
Yeah.
that would be, but we don't.
The pile does get big, and we get big stuff in there.
Yeah.
That burns for days. Yeah.
And I have had complaints from people that maybe used to live in the community, no longer live here, but they say it's not a real welcome sign as you come into Vergas
see,
17 and see that giant brush pile.
No. And there are people that.
Community club now has put their trailer out there to kind of shield some of that, and I think, and the city staff have done a good job at trying to keep it cleaned up, but it is, the first thing you see when you come into town is we got a waste disposal site. If we had a place to put it someplace out of sight, out of mind. Perm, and I don't know who they allow to dump there, but they've got a gate and they put somebody out there that staffs it. Because I've taken pictures of their sign, I've visited their site, and when you're dumping, somebody's there to say, oh, Good to see you, James.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, options are keep one, I mean, the yard waste side of things still provides a service. I think it would be used. And we don't have the liability issues. There's no smoke associated with that. There's no fire hazards, etc. They would have more room if we didn't have the brush to do their composting. And I don't know how many permits we'd sell just for yard waste. Well, there's a lot of people. I mean, you can go up there to Friday night and they've got it all cleaned up and pushed back, and you come on Sunday night and it's been almost out to 17.
Right, yeah.
They're bringing a lot of, but they can handle the leaves and the compost. That's not a problem.
And grass clippings.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't. Maybe trying to police it, maybe getting some information out, a fact sheet that goes out with the permits or whatever, and those people that get caught shoplifting, in your example, they probably are a little more hesitant to try it again.
I could get on a soapbox about the criminal justice system off that one, but there is a subset of group of the people who get caught shoplifting who I think are more hesitant to do it the second time.
Mhm.
And my motto kind of has always been, who among us hasn't driven 57 and a 55?
Right.
Yeah,
Are we breaking the law? Technically, yes, but the courts reserve their time for those that are driving 80 in a school zone. And maybe we've always thought, but our technology, et cetera, hasn't been, if we caught somebody, we would turn them over to Ramstead School and say, hey, we want these people prosecuted. That word gets out that we're not monkeying around. You prosecute one or two of them, I think the word gets out to say, hey, we better not do this.
Right. I think it takes one or two people to have to pay a fine.
Yeah.
And go in front of a judge and they go, maybe it's not worth driving in to drop my stuff.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
What are your thoughts, Paul?
let's put it off till next meeting. Do some more checking with.
Okay.
I'll go out and talk to them too.
Huh?
I'll go out and talk to them. Crazy and Pelican.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So we're not gonna do anything until the 21st of April. That's our next meeting.
It's the 21st.
Yep, that just seems like a long time when we're having 55-degree days coming up, so.
Yeah, but having it up, we weren't gonna accept it anyway, based on the current recommendation, so.
Or
They
could-
can still do some of the other grants and.
Or could you say that we will continue to we'll table the issue regarding the brush disposal for tonight and bring it back April 21st. In the interim, permits can be sold for yard waste only.
Yeah. That's kind of what the sign says up there, is it's closed, this part is closed.
So we're gonna sell permits even though it's only for, they might be
Well,
selling $65,
Residence permits are free.
but $65 for.
They'll
Right now,
go
they-
into it with the understanding that now it's yard waste only.
You
And if they
do,
say,
you do have a meeting on April 8th. So you'll be
Oh.
here and paid for a meeting.
For the
We
board of
could,
review.
for the Board of Review, could have a special council meeting just on this regard after that meeting, to move it up. So then you would, I mean, then yard waste would only have till the 8th of April, but it would help solve. Well, I mean, make it sooner.
No, I think that's a good idea, and I think it gives us time to maybe go out there and talk to some people and see what the vibe is, how people feel.
after the fire, I've talked to some people, they said, what are your options? I said, one option would be closing the yard waste. And I've gotten about 4 thank yous.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Everybody I've gotten from is when is it gonna be open, because I have stuff to drop off. So.
Mm.
we spoiled everybody when we first started, because then Anybody can dump whatever.
These are all city people.
I-
I've asked,
Yeah,
but yeah.
this was everybody.
And I'm not interested in starting a yard waste facility on my farm. So, but it's a problem all over. I mean,
Yes.
we talked a little bit about that guy by where Mud used to work on County Road 4, that brush, I mean, he had brush piles all over the place.
Mhm.
The gravel pit out by that Tori Sonnenberg has on Galavis there is plumb full of trees. What do you do with all this stuff?
Yeah,
Less and less people are burning wood, but what do you do with all this? And we're gonna have more trees dying.
yeah.
The emerald ash borer and, you know, Dutch elm and everything and oak wilt, there's gonna be more trees that are gonna have to be disposed of and removed. When you hire a tree service, they take care of all of that for you.
Mhm.
We'll table it till April 8th, and discuss it then with a short special meeting after, before the Board of Review.
Okay, we have a recommendation to table this topic as it and make an agenda item following the board review on April 8th.
Yeah.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Well, thank you. And you know, there's a yard waste policy.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Good stuff.
We'll take a look at that too in the interim to make sure, to see what we've got.
Yeah, because that one's only a year or so old, I think, was signed in 25 or something.
And the burning ordinance, which, you know, we did redo here, and that's probably only a year or two old too from the planning and zoning perspective, so.
Personnel committee, we met and conducted the evaluation on the maintenance personnel meeting, a fully successful based on performance standards. We have the one recommendation at our last meeting. We approved a change in our policy when somebody's gone for a long time, greater than 12 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks or more. Well, and so attached is a format for the city employees to complete so that there is a handover checklist. So when they expected or unexpectedly leave, we can pull it and who's ever covering, they know what to do. Because everyone's one thing, single deep, so we're one deep. So the personnel committee is just proposing this checklist format so that the employee can put what the work is, how often it is, and some basic instructions. So like we were telling the maintenance employee, daily garbage, and just note for instructions where the garbage cans are. Don't have to get into, so at least somebody knows where they are all located. So it would be that type of, otherwise we just thought you're just gonna get stuff all over and then you might not have how often you do this. And we just thought having some type of a format to kind of make it easier to read as well as consolidate, so.
When, and this would be given to employees, so like the liquor store manager would get one of these?
We
What
were
about
not
the
giving
staff,
out
the other staff?
Not the
Not the clerks,
Not the clerk,
because every one of the
it's
questions.
supervised by the manager,
So.
but the
yes.
manager.
They all do the same job,
Yeah.
but it would be, basically all the city staff, the two, maintenance, utilities, Julie, the deputy, Kyle. 5.
I would make a motion to approve use of the handover work duties checklist.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Julie, what would you like to set for a time frame for employees?
To have it completed by the end of April.
Okay. So would you send out the form and give them that timeline?
I will do that, yes.
And then at some point personnel, when they come in, we can take a look and then annual evaluations that will continue to look at those. Okay, staff reports, engineering report, Blaine isn't here, any highlights, Julie, or any questions from anyone?
A lot of the last one, same as the last.
Okay, Julie.
Mine was written to, I have two items on there. The first one is you have approved for Matt and I to go to loss control workshop. But I would also like, Rachel Newstead to go to the loss control workshop. And it's in, there's one on March 31st in Monoman, and then it's in Alexandria on April 1st. And so Matt and I would go on April 1st, and Rachel would attend on March 31st in Monoman. That way the office would not be closed, so we can piggyback on that. The only cost would be the mileage for her to take a city pickup over to Monoman. Because we belong to the League of Minnesota's Loss Control, we don't need to pay for the class.
Is there a
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
The other item is the liquor store is looking for an applicant, and they would like to hire Alyssa Harmon as a part-time clerk at the liquor store.
So moved.
Second.
we have a motion and a second, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Just to highlight some of the information the board reviewed, remember, it's April 8th. And, Julie, we're probably sitting good with people trained,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
And then, it will be at 1 PM here. And then the trail master plan, to be discussed with Hobart Township. Note that that is Thursday, April 16th at 7 PM.
6:30. Does it say 7 stuff?
So it's
It's 7 here.
It's corrected. It is at
Let
6:30.
me change, okay, at 6:30, it's at the Hobart Township building. And they were given, the analysis, when Patrick Hollister helped us with that, so they do have that, so. And Julie, you said others would be there,
Patrick Hollister will be there and Kevin. whatever his last name,
Hillbaum.
Hillbaum from Park and Rec from Ottawa County will also be there.
okay.
And the city will be represented there. I will be out of town.
Yeah, I am unfortunately out of town, but I know
I'll try
Julie
to
will
go.
be there
I will
and
be
if
there.
Okay,
if
good.
others can attend, that would be great. I know they have a number of questions, so they part of that.
Kevin, Patrick and Jody and I are meeting the first week of April to go over a presentation, so we
Oh,
can have everything ready for people.
Okay, well, we have come to the end of our agenda. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.